Hello and welcome to another useless codex review with me, Chris. Big thank you to Games Workshop for sending me a review copy of Codex Imperial Knights. Forgot what book I was talking about here, or holding in my hand. But yeah, so we are going to have a look at this brand new codex for the Imperial Knights. And as of recording of this video, this is obviously before the release of said codex. And yeah, so a lot of things. Now on the Warhammer community site, they've given us a lot of previews as far as what is in this book, and, you know, kind of given us teasers as far as, you know, the advantages and things of that nature. So we're just going to have a little deeper look into the book. Again, this is a useless review. I'm not going to be talking about points values or strategies or anything like that. What's really changed, what is not changed, and you know what I mean. We're just going to have a skim through the book. And of course, this is a little different from the Chaos one, as the Chaos one looked more like the collector's edition, whereas this one looks like the standard codex. And of course, you know, it's got the regular back. These are all hardcover books, similar size. I'm not sure how many pages this book is, but it feels about the same. It's, you know, the usual thickness. But yeah, let's just dive right in. Oh, it's crispy. I haven't even opened this yet. Imperial Knights, let the power of your knight flow through your veins. Let the ghosts of your throne whisper wisdom into your mind. Let steel be your sinew and fire be in your fists. Become your knight as it becomes you, and through symbiosis ascend. So shall you become. So shall you protect your people and slaughter your foes. It's a great way to start a book, isn't it? So under the table of contents, we have our introduction on page 3. And under the Imperial Knights, we have the, on page 4, we have the Legacy of Honor, the Omniscience Boon, and a whole bunch of stuff. Goes through the Questor Knight and the houses. By about page 46, we get the showcase, all the pretty pictures and color schemes and stuff like that. The rules start on page 60, and it goes over Combat Patrol, Battle Forged rules, detachment abilities, the noble houses, man, all sorts of stuff. Army rules, match play rules, crusade rules. Crusade rules, you know, I fully endorse people playing more crusade games and, you know, getting into campaign narrative gameplay and stuff. They're just really nice palate cleansers from a lot of people who, you know, do a lot of pick up and play games or even match play games, stuff like that, right? Tournaments. Doing a crusade is like doing a campaign. It's just, you know, it's a lot of fun. I don't know why more and more people just don't get into it, because, you know, it is a great way. I mean, there's so many different ways to play Warhammer 40,000, and simply limiting yourself to pick up and play or match play type games, it just seems like a waste. It seems like a huge, huge waste. It's like buying a Ferrari and only ever going the speed limit, right? That's how I equate it. Then by about page 116, we get into the data sheets, then war gear points and rules reference. Very, very cool. Introduction. Hail, noble pilot. You hold now Codex Imperial Knights. No volume explores the storied history, glorious heraldry, and implacable machines of the Questor Imperialis and the Questor Mechanicus in greater detail. Every page is packed full of detail on the Imperial Knights organization, ways of war, iconography, can't read, and how to collect a mighty host of these formidable war engines. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Ooh, these pages are just, they're sticking together. The book is crispy, I said. Like I said, it's crispy. Yeah, so lots of pretty art that we've come to expect from Codex. Oh, like this piece here, right over here. It's a dude in the pilot seat. Very, very cool. Where do they sit in a knight? Are they right behind the head? I would assume. I don't know. First bit is Legacy of Honor, so it's probably getting into like the Horus Heresy stuff, like where the knights started and stuff like that. The Omniscience Boon gets into a little short story. Geez, these pages are right proper stuck together. Questor Imperialis, lots of background material. Questor Mechanicus. You know, I'm not very familiar with a lot of the knight stuff, so for anybody out there that I'm just touching on here, I mean, you know, Yeah. Anyway, it gives us a nice big galactic map. And showing, I guess, where all the big knight houses are and such. Warzone Nockman, Savage Wars of Steel, Warzone Octeris, and Warzone Chalneth. Yeah, that's pretty darn cool. I like these maps. I like when they give us the greater context of like where things are in the galaxy. Warzone Arene. Then it gives us even like the structure of how the knight houses are set up. A High Monarch, Baron, Baroness, and then knightly vassals. Pretty darn cool. And then structure of Questor, Mechanicus, Great House, Princeps, then Baron, Baroness, and then knightly vassals. Yeah, that's pretty darn cool. The Knight Heraldry, of course, gives us all sorts of stuff on the Heraldry. Oh, look at this. Even gives us like the color guides and stuff. Yeah. So Questor Mechanicus Heraldry gives us all that. Of course, there's lots of Mechanicus gears all over everything. Questor Imperialis Heraldry. So I guess if you're Questor Mechanicus, you're going to have lots of gears in your icons. And if you're Questor Imperialis, you're going to have, eagles and, lions and stuff like that, right? Yeah. I like how it lays out how the heraldry goes. The livery? Livery? Never really know how to pronounce that word. Then we get into House Tyrannus. Honor the Forge. Honor the Primus Ordinus. Primus Ordinus? They got the red and black and white color scheme. It's actually pretty darn cool. I always like that triad of colors. It's very, very handy. House Crast, Crush the Serpent. And their icon is a serpent that has like a broken castle or something on it. I'm not sure why it's Crush the Serpent and the serpent is in their thing crushing something. I'm at a loss. I don't know. It's livery. It's livery. I like the thing though. It's almost Legio Metallica, right? It's the red with the yellow and black chevrons. Interesting. Yeah, it looks very mechanic. What are the guys called? Metallica. Legio Metallica. Jeez Louise. The name escaped me. I'm going to leave that in, that whole pause like that, while I was trying to think what the heck the name was. Even though I said it like 3 times before I even did it. Anyway. House Raven. Honor Inviolate. Colossi Eternal. Colossi Eternal? Not sure what that means. I mean, Colossi. It's like Colossus, I guess. House Volker. For the gilded glory of the Omnissiah. The house icon almost looks like old Soviet propaganda type imagery. It's kind of interesting. Interesting color scheme too. It's kind of a mostly like a half of gray with red and white chevrons. That's actually kind of cool. I kind of like that. Different. House Cadmus. They who are not our allies are our prey. Didn't the Chaos one say that? Wasn't it in their color scheme is the kind of an army green with yellow and black. I kind of like that too. The army green. House Griffith. Honor and fury, courage and strength. Theirs looks like kind of like an older Germanic almost icon. It's kind of like how the old eagle looks, with the knight shield and everything. House Hawkshroud. No request for aid shall be denied. Ooh, these guys sound like they want to back you up. They're going to back you up in a fight. And these guys are the ones with the yellow and the black with the white icons. Very, very cool. House Mortan. In war, show no mercy. Well, that just sounds like a PSA for anybody fighting in battles, right? Their color scheme is the black with the yellow and red. That's really quite nice too. The color schemes are always really cool. House Terran, glory in honor. And they're the blue with the red bifurcations on their armor plates. Yeah, oh geez, there's all sorts of color schemes here. Then the Free Blades, the Lone Knights, get all sorts of different color schemes here. Basically, you just make up whatever you want and go to town. Ooh, I like the purple and gold one. That's kind of cool. Canis Rex, the Chainbreaker. Then we get into all the pretty pictures in the Codex. Love it. Love it. Yeah. More and more, this knight always kind of grows on me. What is he, a Castellian? Yeah, Castellian. It's just packed full of guns. I mean, like, what's not to like, really, right? It's a knight, right? It's like a little mini Titan. Essentially, that's what it is, right? Everybody's out there like, yeah, Chris, it's a mini Titan. Like, come on, what part of that didn't you get before? Lots and lots of pretty pics. All the color schemes. Yeah. Oh! There's a little duder on foot. Is he available? Oh, is he even sit? Oh, he's sitting up in there. Ah. Sir Hector, dismounted and clad in his half-armored body glove. A body glove. Can you get these guys regularly? Or is this like some special character unit or something? Let me know down below if this guy's available or if he's a special character. That's kind of cool looking little duder. It almost looks like Josh Brolin in Dune. That's what the character looks like. Like the face, obviously. Yeah, lots of pretty. I love looking through the big glossy pictures and everything, because I like seeing if Games Workshop has hidden little Easter eggs around, and so you kind of like examine the whole image under a magnifying glass and see if they're hiding anything in plain sight, right? Yeah, it's pretty darn cool. So by page 60, we get to the rules, and it has the rules for Battleforged rules, Army rules, Match Play rules, Crusade rules, data sheets, points in war gear, and the rules reference. So it gives us Combat Patrol, looks like 3 little armigers. Detachment abilities, Knight Lances, Wandering Hero, Unyielding Knight, Household Traditions. And then Fellblades and Crusades, Questor Allegiance Oaths. Questor Mechanicus has a different pledge, and the Questor Imperialis, a Vow of Honor. What's a Questor Imperialis Vow of Honor? These noble households pledged their undying allegiance to the Emperor, and swore to defend the Imperium with neither question nor hesitation. In the millennia since, their knights have endured hardships and fought monstrous foes to fulfillment of those ancient oaths. Add 1 to advance and charge rolls made for a model with this Questor Allegiance Oath. Each time an advance or charge roll is made for a model with a Questor Allegiance Oath, you can ignore any and all modifiers to that roll. Each time this model makes a pile-in move or consolidation move, it can move an additional 1 inch. That's really cool. It allows them to really kind of get stuck in, as it were, as the kids say. The noble households, you have the Questor Allegiance Oath, Household Traditions, Warlord Traits, Stratagems, Household Relics. Then, of course, the noble households. I'm not going to read all their rules, but let's see. Let's have a look at their Epic Deed Stratagem. Drawing upon heroism that is their birthright. This is the noble House Terran. Drawing upon the heroism that is their birthright and inspired by the spirits of the noble ancients within their throne mechanicum, the pilot unleashes their full fury upon the foe. Use this stratagem in the fight phase when House Terran model from your army is selected to fight until the end of the phase. Add 1 to that model's attack characteristic. Each time the model makes a melee attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. If you watch the review of the Chaos Knights book, yeah, it's a very similar kind of vibe. I mean, this is like these books, they basically just swap out the information, and yeah, you either have Imperial or Chaos, and yeah, they're kind of 2 sides of the same coin. But I think that's really kind of the dichotomy between the two, right? House Griffith. Our ancestors, slayers of great drakes, all could not have imagined the beasts which plagued the wider galaxy. Tyrannid horrors, orcoid brutes, mutant terrors. Despite this, thanks to their legacy, we have slain them all. Pretty confident. Don't lose that confidence, buddies. House Cadmus. We are Cadmus, slaughterers of mutants, aliens, and traitors. Let it be known that no horde of abominable horrors can stop us. These guys aren't messing around. And basically, their icon is like a goat head with a sword stuck through it. House Hawkshroud. Fail to uphold a vow. Painful death is preferable. You guys are pretty serious. House Mortan. Our ancestors settled a world no other would take. Alone they took a foothold, and alone they held it for millennia. Only with blades and metal did they succeed. No foe of ours can match either. Like the confidence. I like the confidence. I like the confidence. House Raven. We shall seek not to know rest of any kind until Colossi is avenged. We shall not stop our march across the stars until the ones responsible for its loss are put to the sword or crushed beneath our iron tread. I vow this day before all of us who remain and before the Omnissiah. These guys, man, like, doesn't anybody have any kind of like lighthearted mottos? It's always these really intense kind of mottos. Everybody's so intense in Warhammer 40,000. Doesn't anybody have any kind of like, you know, levity or like, you know, just relax and, you know, take her easy? Jeez Louise. House Tyrannus. It was our ancestors who paved the way for all who followed. Our blood cakes. Our blood cakes, the earliest worlds claimed by mankind during the Great Crusade. There is no foe of humanity we have not faced, no foe we have not conquered. We are the blade of the Omnissiah and are ever sharp. Sounds cool. These guys sound pretty intense as well. House Krast. Krast? The heretic, the mutant, the traitor, the witch. All are our hated foes. They are worse than a blight upon the realms of mankind. They are worse than parasites sucking the blood of a larger animal, worse than biting insects or scurrying vermin. They are worse than plague. There is only one thing for them: total annihilation. Jeez. Sounds a little extreme. House Volker. The tentacle of the Archdet, the rights of Belus, the orders of Crimson Cog, of the Crimson Cog, the Therandy, man, I don't even know what that word is, of the Emerald Laurel, and the 17. None outside our hallowed ranks shall know what these are and what they mean. Well, that count me in on that. Why? Because they are ours, meant for us. They are no business of the outsiders. Sounds like they got some secrets. Sounds like they got secrets, man. They got secrets. They're hiding something. That house is hiding something. They're probably one step away from becoming traitors. And so we get into the noble houses, the martial traditions. Basically, if your chosen noble household does not have an associated household tradition, you must instead select a martial tradition from the lists here. In addition, Freeblade units from your army must also have a martial tradition from the list here. If your army includes Canis Rex, he must have the Mythic Hero martial tradition. Remember, each Freeblade unit must have a unique martial tradition, and you cannot select a martial tradition for a Freeblade if any other model in your army has the same martial tradition. Oof. Then, of course, for the Questor Imperialis martial traditions, they have frontline fighters, glorified history, hunters of beasts, noble combatants, paragons of honor, strike and shield. Pretty darn cool. The Questor Mechanicus martial traditions, blessed arms, fealty to the cog, honored sacrosants, honored sacrosants. I can read. Machine focus, steel-sinewed aim, unremitting. And the Freeblade martial traditions, last of their line, mysterious guardian, Peerless Warrior, and Mythic Hero. What does Mythic Hero do? Let's have a look at Mythic Hero. Tales of this Freeblade's exploits and their deeds of honor have spread far and wide, and they are not exaggerations. This knight is a mythic figure that embodies the code chivalric. Do I say that right? Chivalric? Chivalric? Anyway. When you are determining which chivalric abilities are active for Imperial Knights models in your army, models with this martial tradition count the number of honor points your army currently has as being too higher than it actually is. This may mean that different chivalric abilities are active for models with this tradition than are active for other Imperial Knight models in your army. So basically he gets a little heads up in the battle, playing with Freeblades. It's kind of interesting that, you know, you can like, because typically whenever you're getting boosts, it's usually like across the army, whereas now with the Freeblades and your noble houses, you know, you got to really keep track of this stuff. Otherwise, you know, you're going to miss out on extra abilities, or you're going to forget to turn them down or turn them off when you fail and stuff like that, right? Stratagems, the battle tactic stratagems: calculated targeting, full tilt, thunder stomp, impetuous glory, line breaker, martial prowess, pack tactics, pains of old night, skyfire protocols, and thin their ranks. That's a fun one. Epic deeds is trophy claim, benevolence of the machine god, crushed, machine spirit resurgent, and valiant last stand. Noble sacrifice, recount the virtues, survivors of strife. Requisition stratagems, heirlooms of the household, knight baron, revered paragon, I can read. Strategic ploy stratagems, exacting charge, a squire's duty, flanking maneuvers, storm striders, defiant fury, point blank barrage, and then war gear stratagems, chain sweep, rotate ion shields, ion aegis, hurled wreckage. Oh, and that was it. That was the war gear stratagems. Then you get into the Exalted Court. Basically, if your army's battle forged and includes any Imperial Knight detachments, then when you muster your army, with the exception of Freeblades, you can upgrade any Questor class character or Dominus class character model in your army to be a member of the Exalted Court. Note that the Imperial Lance's detachment ability can grant Imperial Knight models the character keyword, as can the Knight Baron stratagem. There's all sorts of things for the Exalted Court. Basically gives you your points levels and your power levels, and it's High Monarch, Master of Justice, Monarch's Ward, Herald, Gatekeeper, Princeps, Master Tactician, Master of Lore, Master of Vox, and Forge Master. You get the Master, and it gives you all the breakdown of all the rules. There's a lot of stuff here, man. There's a lot of stuff. What does a Master of Lore do? Questor Mechanicus character model only. If this model is a Knight Preceptor in your command phase, it can recount an additional teaching if it knows that it has not already been recounted by a friendly model that turn. If this model is not a Knight Preceptor, it gains the Mentor keyword and it knows one teaching from the knightly teachings. And in your command phase, if this model is on the battlefield, it can recount one teaching it knows that has not already been recounted by a friendly model this turn. Roll a d6 on a 3+. The recounted teaching is inspiring and takes effect until the start of the next command phase. Jeez Louise. Noble Exemplar ability. Each time the model uses its Bondsman ability on a model that is already under the effects of Bondsman ability, the new ability appears to be applies to it in addition to the existing one instead of replacing it. Then Crusade Duty. While the model is in your Crusade force, each time you use the Arts of War Duty requisition, it costs 0 requisition points to use. Handy, I suppose. It's pretty darn cool. That art piece is pretty cool. It almost looks like that thing from the Nighthaunt army, the one with the roses, and yeah, interesting. Freeblade Lance, of course, it gives you all your special rules for these guys, these indomitable heroes, legendary knights, warlord trait, relics, Even gives you some stratagems. Brothers and sisters in burden, strength from exile, deeds of legend, favored knight. Relics. What do you get for relics? Sanctuary, Ravager, Armor of Sainted Ion, Helm of Nameless Warrior, Helm Dominus, Endless Fury, the Bastard's Helm. I might need a Bastard's Helm. Mark of the Omnissiah, Banner of Macarius Triumphant. I always say Macarius. Is it Macharius? Macarius? I always say Macarius. But anyway. Mentor Seal. You know, like Lord Solar Macarius, right? I always say Macarius. I don't know. Is that the way it's said? I don't know. I've never heard anybody say that word. I don't know if everybody's just messing it up like I am or what, right? Anyway. Heart of Ion, Paragon Gauntlet, Traitor's Pyre, Call's Wrath, and Judgment. What does Judgment do? This unique rocket pod fires self-propelled adamantine-tipped warheads fitted with servitor brains running Venturus auto-targeting protocols. Once launched, these projectiles mercilessly hunt their prey across the battlefield. Model armed with a Storm Spear rocket pod only, Judgment replaces the bearer's Storm Spear rocket pod and has the following profile. Oh, okay. So basically it can target models that are not visible to the bearer at 48 inches. So, and it's good strength, good damage. Man, I would say it's pretty darn good. Warlord Traits, Cunning Commander, blessed by the Sacrasaints? Anyway. Ion Bulwark, Knight Seneschal, Land Strider, and Reverend Knight. Very cool. Knightly Teachings. The Virtue of Courage, it's an aura. Aura of Justice, it's an aura. The Folly of Mercy. The Knight's Faith aura. Warrior's Hope. And Wisdom of Nobility. Then we get into the chapter Proved. Purged the enemy. No mercy, no respite. Battlefield supremacy and shadow operations. Gives us all the crusade rules, which I think is very, very cool. You know, honestly, a crusade with knights being either chaos or imperial, it actually wouldn't be too bad because, you know, you don't have a lot of models to track. There's not a lot of bookkeeping involved, right? Because you only got like maybe 5 models out there. It's playing knights is kind of like, you know, if you you weren't interested in buying a whole bunch of models, but you wanted some really big kick-ass looking models, right? So anyway. Oh man, there's all sorts of stuff for the crusade rules. It's very, very cool. Then we get into the data sheets. We get the war gear options, get all the abilities, the ion shields, it's an invulnerable save, super heavy walker. Basically, you can do whatever you like walking around the battlefield, essentially, because nobody's really going to stop you, right? The bondsman abilities. I think a lot of the stuff we've seen quite a bit on the Warhammer community, or at least get the gist of. So I don't think I really need to go into great lengths to, you know, go over all this. Again, this is not that kind of review. I'm sure there's plenty of others out there who are spending way more time on, you know, explaining this stuff. But I mean, if you're going to go through that lengths, like, why not just, you know, tell everybody the book? Might as well just, you know, reproduce the book and get in trouble. Code Chivalric. I really dig this one. This one's pretty cool. So basically with your knights, you can have them swear an oath, and whether or not they uphold it, they get special rules, which is pretty darn cool. And so basically you play with honor points. You get 0 points, you're dishonored. 1 to 4, you're honored, and 5, 6, you are virtuous. That's the points accrued. It's not like it's not like a roll or anything. Yeah, models with this ability will then gain a number of chivalric abilities depending on where they on which are active for your army, as follows. Whilst your army is dishonored, the honored and virtuous chivalric abilities from your selected oaths are not active. Whilst your army is honored, the honored chivalric ability from your selected oaths are active for all Imperial Knights in your army, but the virtuous chivalric abilities from your selected oaths are not active. Whilst your army is virtuous, the honored and virtuous chivalric abilities from your selected oaths are active for all Imperial Knights in your unit. Knight units in your army. Can't even spit some of this stuff out. And so basically with some of the oaths, you get protect those in need, defend the realm, refuse no challenge, lay low the tyrants. That's pretty darn cool. And so basically, like, it has, like, the layouts of, you know, what you got to do, right? So, like, lay low the tyrants. If an Imperial Knight model from your army destroys one or more Warlord character, monster, or vehicle units during a battle round with a melee attack, then at the end of the battle round, you gain an honor point. Okay? The troth, that's the pledge. The troth is if less than 2 enemy units have been destroyed by attacks made by Imperial Knight units from your army during the battle round, then you lose an honor point. And then so your honored ability is Martial Pride. Each time this model is selected to shoot or fight, you can re-roll 1 hit roll or 1 wound roll. And then the virtuous ability is Martial Legacy. Once per battle round, when you make an advance roll, hit roll, or wound roll, or saving throw for 1 Imperial Knight model from your army, you can change the result of that roll to a 6. That's pretty darn cool. But mind you, I mean, you need 5 or 6 honor points. So you got to really get in there and build up your points. I mean, that's probably like near the end of the battle, really. It's probably like turn 3 is when you're going to hit any of those conditions, right? Then by about page 120, we get into the data sheets. Armiger Helvern. Variable profile. Comes with an autocannon and a meltagun. They have ion shields, code chivalric, Armiger Squadron, and explodes. And these are Questor Mechanicus. Oh, you can pick them for Questor Mechanicus or Questor Imperialis. Yeah, see, like, it's really interesting because it's such a limited unit size to these armies. It's fun that the special rules, you know, give you more flavor, and rather than just, you know, an armiger. Oh, I got an armiger on the table. You know what I mean? You've seen one, you've seen them all kind of thing, right? Versus when you take them in this context that there's all sorts of abilities that these units can have, right? Armiger Warglaive, variable profile. Is it the same? Pretty much. Yeah, they're pretty much. Yeah, same speeds and everything. He's got a meltagun, thermal spear, and Reaper chain cleaver. Yep, same rules as the other armiger. Then a Knight Errant. Pretty darn tough. Lots of wounds. Oof. Good leadership. He's got the meltagun, thermal cannon, and Reaper chainsword, and Titanic feet. He can swap out his Thunderstrike Gauntlet, or a chainsword for a Thunderstrike Gauntlet. And he can also take either 1 Iron Storm Missile Pod, or Storm Spear Rocket Pod, or 1 Twin Icarus Autocannon. And they have Ion Shield, Super Heavy Walker, Code Chivalric, the Errant's Duty, which is the Bondsman ability. And then he also has Explodes. The Night Warden, same wounds, same toughness, same attacks, basically the same profile. Why does he cost? Oh no, he's the same. I was gonna say, why is he same? Or why is he different power level? Anyway, Avenger Gatling Cannon, Heavy Flamer, Meltagun, Reaper Chainsword, and Titanic Feet, and he can swap those things out. He has the same abilities as the Errant. He's basically the Errant, just different weapon config. He's got that Gatling Cannon. Heavy 12. Hoof. Hoof. Knight Crusader. Hey, he's pretty much the same as a regular knight, just same profile anyway, variable profile, of course. He has the Avenger Gatling Cannon, Heavy Flamer, Meltagun, Thermal Cannon, and Titanic Feet. And if you take him in Questor Mechanicus, he can replace his Meltagun with a Heavy Stubber, and he can replace the Thermal Cannon with a Rapid Fire Battle Cannon or a Questor Cognus Heavy Stubber. What? If he's an Imperialis, can replace the Meltagun with the Iron Hail Heavy Stubber. That's an Iron Hail still. I don't know where the rules are for that one. But anyway, and he can replace his Thermal Cannon with the Rapid Fire Battle Cannon or the Iron Hail Heavy Stubber. And it replaces missile pods as well. He also has the Ion Shield, Super Heavy Walker, Code Chivalric, and he also has the Bondsman Crusader's Duty. Duty. And he also explodes. The Knight Gallant, lower power level. Why wasn't this guy listed first? He's got more attacks. He's got more attacks. He's lower power level. He's got higher attacks. He's got one more attack than the Crusader and the Errants, but he's a lower power level than those guys. Otherwise, all the stats are the same. Oh no, he's got better weapon skill. He's got better weapon skill and more attacks. Okay, what's going on here? He's got a Meltagun, Reaper Chainsword, Thunderstrike Gauntlet, and Titanic Feet. If he's Mechanicus, he can replace his Meltagun with the Heavy Stubber, and if he's Imperialis, he can replace his Meltagun with the Heavy Stubber. So basically, he can replace both Heavy Stubbers, and he can also be equipped with the Missile Pod, or the Rocket Pod, or the Twin Autocannon. He has the Ion Shield, Super Heavy Walker, Code Chivalric. He has the Gallant's Duty, the Bondman ability, and he explodes. So why is he a lower power level? Yeah, he's like a lower power level than the other guys. Usually you kind of like assume that when you're talking power levels in the codex, that you go from the lowest to the highest within the category, right? So, yeah, now we're back to Knight Paladin, and he's same as the other guys. Same profile, same number of attacks, yeah, same things. Variable profile, and of course he's got the Meltagun, he's got the Questor Cognus Heavy Stubber. That's actually not bad. He's got the Iron Hail Heavy Stubber. They're both heavy stubbers, yet one is assault, one's heavy, and the heavy has a AP of -1, whereas the other one has no AP. Somebody explain that one to me, please. I mean, not that I want these knights to be really powerful. I mean, they're just going to stomp around and beat me up on the tabletop, I assume so. Rapid Fire Battle Cannon. Hoof! It's 72 inches heavy 2d6 with blast. Oh my god, that's gross. He's also got the Reaper Chainsword and Titanic Feet. If he's a Questor Mechanicus, he can swap out his Meltagun, and if he's Imperialis, he can swap out the Meltagun for the Iron Hail Heavy Stubber. Can also swap out his Chainsword for the Thunderstrike Gauntlet, and he can also take the Missile Pod, or the Rocket Pod, or the Twin Autocannons. He also has Ion Shield, Super Heavy Walker, Code Chivalric, Paladin's Duty, Bondsman, and explodes. Intriguing. Knight Castellian. Really big profile on him. They're not really designed for getting into fights, eh? Because like that weapon skill that leaves a lot to be desired. Lots of wounds though, and a good save. Plasma Decimator. Oof, that's a nasty gun. Shieldbreaker Missile. Okay. Twin Meltaguns. Yep. Twin Siegebreaker Cannon. Oof. Volcano Lance. Holy carmoles. A Volcano Lance shoots pretty darn far. Farther than 72 inches. And it's a D3 with blast. Oh my god, it's a strength 16. Jeez Louise. What is this thing? It's a Volcano Lance. I realize, but good god. His options are models 4 Shieldbreaker Missiles and Twin Siegebreaker Cannon can be replaced with 2 Shieldbreaker Missiles and two twin Siegebreaker Cannons. So wait, he's got 2 twin? So that's 4? He's got Ion Shield, Super Heavy Walker, Code Chivalric, and he explodes. So he doesn't have a bondsman ability. So he's not bonding. He doesn't bond with anybody. He's like, no, screw you. I got all the guns. You're on your own, little fella. I got guns. I got big guns. So with the Knight Valiant, variable profile, lots of wounds, pretty darn good save. Conflagration Cannon, short range, lots of shots though. Oof. Shieldbreaker Missiles, Thundercoil Harpoon, Twin Meltaguns, Siegebreaker Cannons, and Titanic Feet. You can swap out his 4 Shieldbreaker Missiles and Twin Shieldbreaker Cannon can be replaced by 2 Shieldbreaker Missiles and 2 Twin Siegebreaker Cannons. 2 twins. So 4. Ion Shields, Super Heavy Walker, Code Chivalric, explodes, and that's it. But, I mean, like when you look at these stats of these units by themselves, like just looking at the, like the data card, it doesn't seem like a lot. until you factor in their bondsman abilities, their auras, their oaths, stuff like that, right? Which is pretty cool. Knight Preceptor, like a knight, regular knight, like the Knight Errant. Same save, same number of attacks, same wounds, same weapon skill, plus skill. But he has Las Impulsor, which has a low and high intensity. It's medium to short range. Lots of shots with blast, though. High intensity is pretty powerful. Oof. And he has a multi-laser, Reaper Chainsword, and Titanic Feet. He can swap out his multi-laser, and can also swap out his chainsword, and can also swap out or add in a missile pod, rocket pod, or the twin autocannons. He has Ion Shields, Super Heavy Walker, Code Chivalric, and he explodes. And he also, by default, right on his profile, comes with the Mentor ability, which I think is pretty darn cool. And with his power level, like I assume the points values aren't too hilarious on this model. I imagine you probably take him quite often, right? Canis Rex. Lots of attacks for an Imperial Knight. Weapon skill, bliss skill are good. Good speed. He has Hector's Pistol. Oh, it's Hector's it's Hector's Pistol. This is the Hector model. Oh, okay, so this model is a special character. Oh, see, I didn't know that. Oh yeah, because Hector has a profile on the sheet too. I guess once he has to jump ship, I guess. He also has the Las Impulsor with the high and low intensities, Preceptor multi-laser, and he also has Freedom's Hand. And it makes strike and sweep attacks. Pretty darn good. Titanic Feet. His abilities are Ion Shield, Super Heavy Walker, Code Chivalric, and then Hector. If Canis Rex is destroyed but does not explode, set up Hector within 3 inches. And then I guess he can be moved around. I guess basically it's a good way of denying the victory points, right? For the complete death of the model. I assume that's why he can do that. Yeah, he's not considered destroyed. Then you just got to go in and try and save the guy. If he explodes, then obviously Hector probably takes a whack ton of wounds. Yeah. And then Chainbreaker. Each time Canis Rex makes an attack against a non-Imperium unit, on an unmodified hit roll of 6, 1 additional hit is scored. Wow, that's pretty cool. He's a legendary Fellblade. Once per battle round, you can re-roll a hit roll, wound roll, charge roll, or saving throw for Canis Rex. Cool, and Canis Rex also has the Mentor ability. Dang, Canis Rex, eh? Now, is this just like a regular kit, or is he like is this like a Forge World thing, or what? I don't know, and I haven't looked very deep into this. So, you also get all the weapon profiles by page 132. Points values. What is the point? What is the cost of the? Okay, Preceptors. Okay. The Valiant. Yeah. All right. Yeah, these guys are expensive. Yeah, they're expensive. You're not taking very many of these guys on the field. And last page, I think. Yeah, they're stuck together. Oh, they're stuck together. The glossary, giving you all the terms and such so that you can get familiar with all of this. Like troth. I'm not familiar with troth, right? The term, like the word itself. Part of an oath. This is the condition that, if satisfied, will decrease the number of honor points for your army has. Oh. But what does troth mean? Like, what does the word mean? Is it troth? Troth? Is that how you pronounce it? Have I been saying it wrong the whole time? Troth or troth? Anyway, and then the last page at 136 is the reference, which gives you all your other abilities, bondsmen, chivalric code, detachments, exalted court, household traditions, ion shield, knight lances, noble household, Questor allegiance, Questor allegiance oaths, super heavy walker, sworn to quest, unyielding knight, and wandering hero. And that is another useless codex review. Hopefully you guys found this somewhat interesting, kind of entertaining. I don't know, either way. I'll keep doing these videos as long as you guys keep liking, following, subscribing, commenting, ringing the bell, and all of that. And yeah, huge thank you to my patrons. Without their support, this channel would not be able to continue to do what it is that I do. And so a huge thank you to all my patrons for the continued support, and to all of you brand new patron supporters. What else? I can't remember what else. How else do we usually end this one? let's say... Also, big thanks to Games Workshop for sending me a review copy of this, as well as the data cards. They sent me the data cards and a knight as well. With so much models these days, man, I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled. And so, a huge thank you, everybody, for your support. And yeah, I definitely need to get on these guys. It's tempting. It is tempting. After reading like this one and the Chaos one, the Chaos Knights, yeah, these are tempting. These are very tempting armies to start collecting, just because there's so much. And now it kind of makes me want Eldar Knights or Orc Knights, you know, or Gargants or whatever we want, the Stompas, right? More for those. And let's go with like a medium-sized kind of, you know, Titanicus type of battle system. Wouldn't that be cool, eh? Basically just big punchy robots all smacking each other up. Anyway, take care of those brushes. They'll take care of you, and I will see you guys in the next useless review. I'll see you, but you won't see me.